with Wisestack, and today I'm going to be running through an overview of how to use the Wisestack merchant portal to send out loan applications and offer customers financing. So first, when you come into the merchant portal, you're going to see some pretty important information. The first thing I want to do is just kind of highlight the terms and the financial products that Wisestack is offering to customers. So this is what the terms that are available to your customers will look like. So we at Wisestack do loans from $500 up to $25,000, and that's on any home services project. So whether you're a pest control business, whether you're a roofing business, you're an HVAC contractor, you're a plumbing business, you can always offer financing to your customers with Wisestack. We don't underwrite based on specific projects around the house. So we are a home services general lender. The APRs for our loans range from 0% up to 35.9%. And the reason there's such a high range there, or a wide range on the interest rates, is because we are underwriting people down to 540 FICO scores. So we have about an 85% approval rate in home services. And that means that we are approving people down to that 540, subprime FICO scores. Our terms go from 3 months out to 60 months. Every customer that gets approved is going to see multiple offers. And so they'll be able to choose the term length and monthly payment that makes sense for them. But the longest term we're going to be offering is 60 months, and the shortest term is 3. And then on top of all this, we're a super consumer friendly company. We don't have any prepayment penalties. We don't charge late fees to customers. We don't charge compounding interest like a credit card would charge, and we don't have any deferred interest or any other kind of gotchas on our financial products. So super consumer friendly and transparent to your customers, which is going to reflect well on your business when they're having a good experience with the Wisestack loan process. One thing I want to call out from the Wisestack dashboard is, just as a sales rep, as someone that's pitching a job to a customer, right when you log in, we're going to present you with a payment calculator that allows you to essentially type in a dollar amount and then see what the monthly payment would be for a customer at that specific dollar amount. So if you're having a conversation at the living room table or at the door with a customer, you can type in this amount and see what the estimated monthly payment would be at these different term lengths, and present that to the customer so that you can pitch that $8,000 job as low as $173 a month. When it comes to sending out applications, so you'll come into the upper right here and hit plus new. That's how you send out a loan application. You'll hit send loan app, and then we'll pop up a window that asks for a few pretty basic pieces of information. You can type that in. So you put in the customer's phone number, you put in the amount that they're applying for. Let's say it's $8,400. And then you have the option to put in a purchase ID, which could be an estimate number, or a customer ID number, or an invoice number, something that you're using in your internal CRM to track customers, but just an optional field if you don't want to put anything in. I'll put in a fake number there. And then a quick service description. Let's say this is a roofing project, so I'll put in roof. And then the last part here is putting in a service completion date, which is the estimated completion date for the service that the customer is financing. If you don't have it down to the exact date, that's all right. You can come back and edit the date, and you can also always request the customer to release funds when the time is right. So don't worry too much about putting on an exact date here. It's just an estimate for when the project will be completed. And what that's going to do is basically trigger a sequence of Wisestack texting the customer when the service completion date arrives, saying it's time to release funds to the business. In this case, it's Sammy's septic repair. And then you have the option to basically text a loan application to the customer. If you hit text loan application, Wisestack is going to send a link to the customer to apply on behalf of your business, and they're going to receive a text from Wisestack. If you want to create a link, you can hit create link only and then text or email that customer the link yourself. And so we'll give you a pastable link that you can send over to the customer that will pop them into the loan application. So let's text the customer the loan application. The customer is going to receive a text from Wisestack that says, this is Wisestack on behalf of Sammy's septic repair. Here's the financing application you requested for your $8,400 job. And they will be able to click into that link, and that's going to take them into the Wisestack loan application. They'll quickly verify their phone number with a 6-digit code. So let me pull that. And then once they verify their phone number, they're popped into the actual loan application, which they can complete in 45 seconds. It's really basic information. We're asking for stuff that really customers are going to know off the top of their head. It's basically just first name, email, the date of birth, and their estimated annual income. This annual income number is just a self-reported number. It's not something where they have to upload a W-2 or a pay stub. Then they put in the last four of their social security number because this is just a soft credit pull. So there's no effect on the customer's credit to check their financing options. They can see what they qualify for with no effect on their credit. And then they put in their address and their monthly housing payment. And from there, we're going to be able to generate offers for the customer. And so they're going to see 4 to 6 different options based on their credit worthiness and the amount that they're applying for, but they'll always see multiple options to pick from. And with Wisetack, there's only one flat transaction fee that is charged to the merchant, to you as a business. So we always have a 3.9% flat transaction fee unless you've opted into our extended 0% APR plans. But everything out of the box when you first sign up for Wisetack is going to come with a flat 3.9% transaction fee that customers are seeing on their account. And so the 3-month 0% comes at that 3.9% transaction fee. All of these plans come with a 3.9% transaction fee. And so the customer gets to basically review their options, see what monthly payment makes sense for them. Like I said, we have terms out to 60 months. And so they can optimize for a low monthly payment, or they can optimize for the lowest possible interest rate. It doesn't really matter to you as a business owner because you're only paying 3.9% fee on these loans, regardless of what option they choose. And so it really puts the power back in the hands of the customer to make the decision that makes the most sense for them. So they choose a payment option, they select that plan. And then one thing that's really also important to know is that as you go through this process in the Wisestack dashboard, if you go to applications, you're going to be able to see where the customer is at in that application process. So you can see I've now entered, some information. I've been approved already for financing because I submitted my application. As the merchant, I can look in this account and see, hey, this customer applied for the $8,400. They were approved. I can even see information like what their max qualification amount would be. So if they did want to do an add-on project, maybe it's a roofing job and they want to add on some gutters, you could potentially also send them a financing application for additional amounts because they're qualified up to $25,000 with Wisestack. So all this information is available in the merchant portal. If they lose their application link, you can copy the link and resend it to them so that they can finish their application. So just know that all the information you really need about a customer is still available in this portal as they go through the process, and you get live updates on the status of their application as they go through it. Now back to the customer view. So I selected that option. Now I have the ability to link a bank account if I choose. This is an optional step for customers, so I'll skip it for this, but they basically are able to connect to their bank account via Plaid. We'll pull their account and routing number so they can set up auto pay if they'd like to do that. The last step of the process here, we're essentially telling the customer everything they need to know about their loan. So how much are they financing? How many payments are they going to be making? What is the amount of each of those payments? When is that first payment going to be due? How much in financing charges or interest are we charging them? And then the total of those payments. So the total of the principal plus the interest they'll be paying on that loan. And then we also reiterate the APR that they're paying. So everything's super transparent with Wisestack. We're not trying to trick customers into making bad financial decisions. We only want them to be taking out loans when they fully understand what the truth is of their loan. So now as a customer, you're just entering your full social security number to sign for the loan. And they do that, and that's how they lock in their offer for their loan. And that's really the golden step that you want to get to as the sales rep and as the homeowner, because that's locking in the offer. As the customer, we're going to hold that offer for that specific loan and those specific terms for 90 days for that customer once they lock in their offer. And you'll see in the portal now, it should be reflected that the customer has locked in their offer. So if I go back and refresh within my application portal in the merchant portal, you now see that status is offer locked. And that means you're good to proceed with the work. You can, start removing the roof. That customer is locked in their loan with Wisestack for that specific offer. The last step of the process is just releasing payment. And so the customer is going to be presented this button that says job is done, release payment. When they hit that button, it's like they swiped a credit card. It's like they handed you a check or they, handed you an envelope of cash. that means that funds are going to be released by Wisetack directly to the bank account that you connected to your Wisetack account. And those funds generally show up the next business day. So, as soon as a customer hits this button, funds are on their way, and that'll be reflected in the portal as well via the confirm status. So I'll hit that button here so you can see what that looks like. But basically, the customer's first payment is now going to be due in 30 days. And within your Wisetack account, you're going to see that the loan status shows up as confirmed. And that means that Wisetack has processed the loan, sees that the customer hit the button to release payment, and the funds are on the way. You can see the confirmed status here now. So that's how you go through an entire Wisetack loan process, from sending one out within the merchant portal to the customer applying, and how all those statuses will be reflected as they go through the process. Hope this was helpful, and it's enough to get you started with offering Wisetack to your customers. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to drop them in the comments on the video, and we'll be happy to get back to you and make sure that any questions you have are answered. Thanks for signing up for Wisetack, and looking forward to hopefully helping you close more jobs. Thanks.